Well, hi there. This is Tom from Shadowfields, and this is Monday in the Studio. I guess you're probably wondering where the better part of our partnership is. And she is out of town, but with us via Skype. Say hello to Heather. Hi, Shirley.
Hi,
Hi, Dave. Hi, Tony.
I'm coming to you from Starlink. I'm up in the sky. You see the
Of
trail
course,
of me in
because
the sky?
you're a
Uh,
star.
I'm a Starlink. Yes. Yes, I'm in Ohio. I'm in Cleveland right now. And
Are you trying
just
to see why we're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I looked and
Is
we're there. Oh my, it's under indie rock. I had no idea. It's like there's a whole Celtic section of indie rock and
Oh,
we're right
Heather,
there.
Heather,
We're
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry. Shirley's wondering where the theme music is.
Oh, Monday in the studio.
There we go. Now we can continue. All right, what's everybody drinking tonight? I did stop by Tony's house tonight and I saw his beautiful kitchen.
Oh,
So
do you get
it,
picture? Are we going to get
it
pictures?
maybe so.
That would be fantastic. Well, I'm having
What are you having?
good old Ohio Sprite, and because it's a party, you gotta have wheat thins. So I've got wheat thins, and my mom used to make them, and or not make them. My mom used to make onion dip, the real stuff with sour cream and the
That's
onion
the
soup
that's the
mix.
only way.
That is the only way. Hey, we agree on that. And
Yeah.
and I used to have these babies with them.
I always loved wheat thins with onion dip. Did anybody else
Yep.
like that? Dave and Shirley are having a diet Pepsi as usual. Becky and Steve are with us.
Hey, everybody. I
Tonight
can't see you, but hello.
tonight I know Heather can't see us, but she can't see me either. Someday we'll get that all figured out. I got to get some type of loop back for the video, but tonight I'm going with something different, not the usual B&B. Tonight you can't see it, amaretto, but not just straight amaretto, with a little bit of orange juice. So I have an amaretto sour.
With orange juice?
Yep.
How can that be a sour if it's orange juice? Because you got sweet and sweet. Is it a
All I know is that every time I go somewhere and ask for an amaretto sour, that's what they give me: orange juice and amaretto. Am I right? Am I right?
no? There's a sour mix in there too, but I don't even. The sour mix is you could do it with lemon. I think if anyone has a sour mix recipe, but I think you could do it with lemon and a little bit of lime because there's that edgy kind of sour taste is the lime.
Mm,
It's almost
okay.
like a margarita mix in it.
Well,
But yes,
Tony said that he had a two ranch waters. What's ranch water? That doesn't sound good. That sounds like something that horses would drink.
yeah, or something from a rain barrel.
Exactly. What is ranch water? I have no idea. Is that like a drink that anybody knows about? I'm unsure.
Ranch water. Hmm. Maybe that gets its name from like something in Arizona, like a something like a Sedona water. Maybe it's with maybe it's with that little cactus with that what's that? Uh what's it? Um Not the Christmas cat. Oh, I've got a cactus right here.
Well,
See this?
Tony says it's lime, tequila, and club soda.
Lime, tequila, and club soda. Okay. Maybe you can go to his house because he just made you a sour mix.
Iced tea for Becky.
Yeah, just some Sprite. Sprite over
Okay.
here. So
All
can I
right.
tell everybody why I'm here?
Yes.
Okay, so today my sister-in-law went from Ohio, Cleveland to Rochester, picked up my mother and brought my mother, who's beautiful, 88 years old, to her house here in Fairview Park, Ohio. And then tomorrow I'm going to take my mother, and I just came here today, but I'm going to take my mother down to Nashville to see the twins. So we'll have four generations hanging out at my daughter's place. So
I imagine a lot of photo shoots. Oh,
Yes.
oh yes, there'll be so many photo shoots. I'm glad I'm not there because my finger would be tired of hitting the screen for take another shot, take another shot, take another shot.
Yeah, I mean, my mom, these are her ninth and 10th grandkids. So I think, I don't know if these would be the or great grandchildren, excuse me.
But they're your first grandchildren,
Yes, this is true. Yeah.
so that's exciting.
Yeah, so that's why I'm here, Dave and Shirley. Um, so it's going to be a fun time, fun ride, and tomorrow because we're going to go down tomorrow. But we've got news, don't we have news?
Well,
Don't we
tonight
have news?
we do have the big release party. This
Mhm.
I don't have any chips or anything like that. Maybe I should just go grab a bag of chips out of the cabinet, huh?
No,
Or I'll wait for tomorrow night.
just wait for tomorrow night. Yeah, so let's talk about what you've been doing in the studio because let's do that first, shall we?
Tony Skrook says that Daniel, Steve, and he will be at a comp in Lebanon, Tennessee on Saturday.
Really? How far is Lebanon from Madison? He'll have to take a look at that because I might be able to come out and see them.
I think Tony will have to correct me and Steve. Isn't didn't you say Lebanon is like south of Nashville and you're north? You're northeast, right?
Yeah, but we're right off 65. Like you can, I mean, yeah, it's just super quick.
Because you're in Madison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's interesting that your daughter's in Madison, Tennessee. My daughter is in Madison, Wisconsin.
No way.
Way.
It's like symbiotic. It's like
Synchronicity.
synchronicity. I love that movie. All right. So,
I was thinking of the Police song, but
oh
you
yeah,
can.
I like that one too. Yeah, but there is a cool movie with I forget his name though. Okay, so you've been going on with some additional things in the studio. I was in last on Saturday,
No,
uh,
you weren't in on Saturday,
past Saturday, the prior Saturday.
but we had a mitts since then.
Oh, that's right.
Since the last mitts, we have had one person in the studio. Avel was in the studio, and
Gary. Gary was also there.
it was Gary.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, he
Gary
was.
put down his final vocal parts. I
Yeah.
think Tony has done his for the next song, not this one, but the next song. All the guys are basically done with their parts, and now it comes down to mixing and just finalize our vocals. Even though our scratches are so good that I don't know if I want to even bother trying to repeat them.
Yeah,
But
so just so everybody aware, this is not the song that we're going to talk about tonight. We're already on the next song.
yeah, we got to keep moving forward. But we had that happen, and also our friend uh, Dan Azio, he put out his second single, "Teenage Tragedy," that we recorded and mixed here
Yep.
in at the Greenhouse Studios, and he did that. His release party was on Friday, and we went
Yep.
and saw him. It was at like some, what was the place called?
It's called Church Street Brewing.
Church Street Brewing, which is like it's in Itasca, but it's in a industrial park, and you would never think there was anything. You know what the industrial parks look like around the Chicago area? It's just street after street of brick buildings, and steel buildings with
Flat roofs.
and everything
Yeah.
looked closed. Everything looked closed, and you're driving around, and you're like, I pulled in their parking lot. I'm like, I guess it's not here. I better look up where else it is. And then I saw next door. I thought maybe that's a driveway or something like that. And I went down that, and I'm like, hey, wait, there's lights on in the back of this building. You would never know it was there. They don't advertise it. And Dan did
They,
great. He
yeah, he
played his
did
new song.
really,
And
really great. And yeah, they actually have an open mic every Thursday night. So
all
didn't
right.
know this with Pollyanna, but when we were doing the open mic, we were competitors of theirs two
Mm.
times a month.
Well,
I
now we're not
had no idea.
competing against anybody.
Nope, not at all.
Um, but Dan did
Yep.
great. And if you want to check out his music, I would encourage you. Teenage Tragedy is his new song. Let's Go came out in January. And Teenage Tragedy has tons of cool harmonies. It's a really cool song, and it's Dan Asio, Asio. So look up Dan on Spotify and all the other social medias, and you'll get a link to that song, and you can check it out. He's going to work on some videos for his songs as well, but right now it's just the audio, so you can check that out.
Yep.
And Dave had a song come out just recently,
Dave Narrett. Yep.
and he's going to be putting out an actual CD,
Woo!
an EP.
Nice.
I believe that's going to come out. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. I think April 27th, something like that. They're not too loud at all.
I'm
Crunch,
getting
crunch,
ready
crunch,
for
crunch.
celebrating.
Okay. Do you want to set up anything about this song? We
Well,
talked briefly about it last
yeah.
time.
So this is a little bit about being manipulated. The song is about being manipulated, but the person that is doing the manipulating. So just imagine, like, these people that they ask you questions so they can set up how they're going to talk with you. Like, you feel that manipulation. And so that idea that, hey, I got the answer that I expected. I got that reaction that I expected. So it's kind of an interesting play on the fact that sometimes we can be manipulated, right? And sometimes we know it and it's clearly obvious. And then other times we don't even know that we are. So, but it's taken from the perspective of that person who is kind of setting everything up in order to get the reaction that they want, or get you to say yes or no to something. So this is a little bit of that, and I kind of like it in that it's very much like in the vein of Tom, the Much Ado About You. And you want to talk about some of the instrumentation that's in it?
Yeah, in both cases, they were written in similar ways, where you could start from anything, but in both these cases, it all started with the bass.
Yep.
Actually, on both of them, I believe I played the bass line on a keyboard, an upright bass line on a keyboard.
Yeah.
That was the start of it. I just came up with this little groovy kind of pattern thing, and it didn't stay on a keyboard and didn't stay on an upright bass either, but it started there.
Yeah.
And then instantly it was like, what kind of drum beat can we put against this thing? So just had a little drum beat that kept us together, through a little piano. I was trying to write it in such a way that it would be possible to sing it and play it at the same time for you. I'm not sure I succeeded, but it's sometimes difficult.
It's a work in progress.
Right. Well, my whole life is syncopation. It's doing things on off rhythms and things like that, which makes it impossible to sing against often.
Yeah, this one though has got such a great beat to it that I feel like, and yeah, the syncopation is such though that I feel like with the piano, it definitely has that lead in, and you can feel kind of that movement. So it's a very fun song.
I was over the weekend when I was working in the studio, which was another big project that we'll talk about next week. But I was listening to an interview with Stuart Copeland he's the drummer from The Police.
Yep.
And he was talking about how they would write songs. Sting would come in with these songs that he'd start to write, and he'd just blah 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 while they actually recorded the song. Then he'd have to go back and put real words to it.
Yes.
And work the whole thing out. But then he had to practice for weeks per song to figure out how to play it and sing it at the same time.
We do
Since
the same
a lot
thing.
of what he did, he had a lot of very intricate bass parts that he would do in The Police, which would be very difficult to sing against. So it took him weeks to do that. So you're in good company. So start practicing.
I think the lyrics came pretty quick because I'd already had. I think while you were putting together stuff, it happened pretty much the same way as we've been doing a lot of songs lately. That that had some lyrics that were already kind of in the vein of where I was going. I don't think I had a third verse, but I had the first and the second verse figured out, and I had to really come up with what that third was going to be. But yeah, even the chorus, I think we had the chorus, I think, right away. And yeah, some of these songs are being put together so quickly. And
that one fell together. These last two songs have just fallen together like instantaneous.
Yeah.
And then we had Tony come in and play his bass. So he took the basic idea that I did, and then he Tonyfied it. And
I love that.
he added the cool part. Hi, Phil Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Phil, it was the Rick Beato interview. Rick Beato does amazing interviews with musicians.
What was the one that we just? Oh, Michael McDonald, right?
He did one with Michael McDonald, which was incredible as well. He's now interviewed everybody from the Police. But he's interviewed so many people, and it's just incredible because Rick knows music. He's not like some goof that's just a writer or something like that. He actually understands the music. He understands what these people are doing, and so he can see the genius in what they're doing. So that was pretty incredible. We should give
everybody just a link, or at least the name of Rick, so they could look him up on his channel, because he's got really great interviews.
Rick Beato, Beato, Rick Beato. He's got like 4 million followers on YouTube. We're still in the low hundreds.
Yeah, this is why we say that, when people come here to subscribe, have their friends
like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about us, so we're not alone here. But it's great to have all you with us tonight. Continuing on with the story, Tony came in, played his bass. He sang the song. That was for the other song.
No.
on this first one, he did come in. He did come in. He played his bass.
Yeah.
There was no singing involved on it. Gary came in our typical thing, 4 hours. Always 4 hours with Gary.
But on this one, we actually, just as a reminder, we didn't think anything more could be done with this. And we were like, there's not much space for Gary. And he proved us wrong.
Right. So we were thinking there was nowhere to go, because between the piano, the bass, and this kind of interesting banjo line I came up with, I'm like, I kind of took the melody ideas in the banjo, and then we just played around and then he came up, we worked together and came up with this very spooky sounding violin part. And
it really was not what I was thinking at all, but I really like it, because it's a little, if you really listen to the song, the first two verses are really angsty, and I think it's not that I don't think everybody tries to manipulate you for in a bad way all the time, right? I think there's sometimes that people are just trying to get to the right information so they can give you the good advice, right? But that sometimes can be perceived as manipulation. But the kind of thing that happened when Gary was playing it, it kind of turned it into something like, ooh, there's, think about this song. Pay attention, think about it. So it's kind of like right in the beginning, you're going to hear it, and it's kind of a call to action. All right, listen up. So there's one thing before we play, though, is that, typically Tom and I are singing together. These next two songs that we come out with, this one and the next one, are a little bit different and how we're approaching them. So you're going to hear more of me this time, but we're going to flip it on the next song, so you'll hear.
Yeah. So are we ready to do this? All right, raise your glass as a toast, and I shall start this thing, and you guys will be the first to hear it. It comes out tomorrow everywhere, and
New Music Monday.
Yeah. So here we go. Woohoo! I hope you guys enjoyed that.
2 minutes and how many seconds?
2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a quick one, but a lot of fun. And
I don't think we can see ourselves yet, can we?
what do you mean?
Oh, I guess we can.
Yeah, if you're watching your phone, it's on a delay.
Yeah.
And there's a good 20, 30-second delay between what we say and what people hear.
So,
Thanks, Shirley. Shirley says that was fun.
it was fun. Yes. This is kind of, I love this musical kind of stuff that we're doing too. I know, I'm not really saying it's kind of indie rock, but there is.
I don't know what it is because I've never heard anybody name a band that does something even remotely similar to that. Just the instrumentation between fiddle, banjo makes you think bluegrass. Is it bluegrass music? Not hardly. Electric bass, drums, and piano. Yeah, it's kind of what we do. Becky says, "Woohoo!"
It's another one that's super fast and it's like 2 minutes and I don't know, 2 minutes 32 seconds or something like that. We're looking forward to putting together a video. We've already started coming up with some ideas. As you can see, the cover of is kind of like a puppet, kind of a puppet master, you know. The one thing I did want to share is that the last verse, and I'm not sure if you heard it, but it was, it took time for this baby to walk, speak her name, turn it into solid rock. But that's, if that ends up being kind of a universal piece that's not necessarily connected to, manipulation of what, this person is doing, but how this person had to grow and maybe why she is the way that she is. Anyway, it's kind of a fun song. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And
is it in any way autobiographical or Yeah,
no.
You know what I mean.
No, I'm not. That's the interesting thing about it. I'm really not. I mean, what you see is what you get. And I think people like that can be easily manipulated, actually. You can kind of become a doormat or something. But I think having a spirit of kind of openness is more my style. Unless you think different. If you have something you need to tell me, Tom.
I could probably say it now because you're not near me, so there's possibility of getting punched is pretty low right now. But you've got a good memory, so
I'd send Tony over.
Yeah.
But it got tonified, and I wanted to say it was garified, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and
there was a lot of fun.
We'll have another
to put
song
together
next month.
Yeah, and we're going to be working on a video next week.
I
have a little bit of behind
really
the
what happened in
scenes.
the studio.
I've got some behind the scenes. I worked to death on the studio. From your perspective, you're seeing it and you're saying, looks the same as it did last week. Well, that's only one half of it. The other half of it is completely different. And that's what I worked on. And it's all to try to make the room sound a little bit closer to perfect. So when I'm mixing a record, that I don't have to struggle with, is this the right amount of low end or not? That's always a tough thing.
It's going to be fun for them to see what you did, because I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I was busy painting my kitchen. You didn't know I painted my kitchen, but I painted my kitchen. Wow. And downstairs, the wall downstairs where the television is. So you were doing your thing. I was doing mine, and I can guarantee you there's no behind the scenes in what I was doing, but it should be fun to see what you did, Tom.
Yeah. Well, I looked pretty terrible. I was pretty hot and wasted by the time this thing was over. It was pretty hard.
And you did that all in what, like 2 days? Maybe
2
there's
days.
Still
I worked really, really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for next week. Tonight is the celebration. Congratulations, Heather, on another new song.
Yes, same to you. Cheers.
Raise your glass. Cheers.
Cheers, you guys. And we got more coming out, and excited about that. Also, there are some tickets that are still available for our April 11 Bunker Live show in St. Charles. St. Charles or Geneva? I always forget. Um,
I think it's in
so
Geneva.
yeah, so this is Geneva, Illinois, not Switzerland. I mean, maybe next year we'll be in Switzerland. I don't know.
So what it is, it's like an in studio thing.
Yeah. And we
It's an in
get a
studio.
specific number of guests. So if there's two of you who want to go, just let me know.
It's a
Um,
video shoot and live recording. So we'll all have headphones on, and just you know we'll we'll hear we'll hear Pat the drummer bash away at drums that night.
I'm gonna have to talk to all the guys about what to wear. This is gonna be a pretty important thing because usually I don't say anything. But
I'm thinking
Tom,
tights. I'm
no,
thinking tights.
this is not Speedo Fields, but this is we need to make sure that we have just the right clothing so we look like we're color coordinated. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm thinking now. I think I played it for you before. The Jack Black Tenacious D version of Wicked Game,
No.
where he and his friend are like running through the waves in the really bad swimsuits. You guys ever see that? It will scar you. So
It's scarring me right now as I remember.
I know
Yeah,
you're
so we've
watching it.
got
I felt bad just watching it. I
so
felt
April
dirty.
6th, we're going to be in, sorry to move on, but April 6th, we're going to be in Grand Rapids at the Stray. So if anybody wants to come along with us, we'd love to have you with us.
That'll be a fun show. The Stray
April
is a great
6th is the
place.
Stray. It's very art community that goes there, from painters, poets, musicians, and they invited us to be the headlining act for the night. And so we'd love to have you hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Additionally, we'll be at the Bunker Live on the 11th. Um, on June 15th, we're going to be down at DuPage County Fairgrounds because we're going to be in the Scottish Festival and Highland Games. Super excited about that. It's going to be
Can't
in the
wait to get my
afternoon.
kilt. Get your kilt
Yeah,
on.
McGilticut. And the first weekend of August, we're going to be at the Roselle Fest. So we're super excited about that. And so if you're around for that first weekend of August,
Is that
and
your phone buzzing?
mine?
Is your phone going off?
No.
Hmm. Maybe it's mine. Maybe
No.
somebody's trying to get a hold of me. Who knows? Anyway,
So just some things to look forward to this summer and this spring.
yeah, we'll get a mailer out as well. Please go check out the song. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, everywhere you get music at this point, and it'll be on the next album. But for now, it is called On the Dime, and it's available as of tomorrow morning. Actually, midnight tonight. You probably won't want to sleep because you're too anxious to get your copy. It'll cost you $1.20.
Yes. We're
Okay.
so excited to have you with us on this adventure of music, and thanks for hanging out in the Shadow Fields with us tonight.
Yes, and this has been Tom and Heather from Shadowfields. This is Monday in the studio. We'll see you again here next week at 8 o'clock. Have a wonderful week. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. You're awesome. Bye.
Good night.